All right. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's only 9:20. We're still doing pretty good. If it's not one thing, it's another, right? I don't know how many people, show of hands, got stuck in
Russell,
that
how are
train
you?
on Sandy
Good to see you.
Creek. I know there were more because I got text messages. We were all stuck at that train on Sandy Creek Road. It was ridiculous. And of course, as I made my U-turn to go all the way back around and past the schools, the train passed and all the cars went by. So then I couldn't get back on Sandy Creek. And then, of course, we had technical difficulties, but they did come in to help us with that. I appreciate that. Trying to bring up the screen. The illustrious check-in QR code. If you guys could all please take out your phone, scan the QR code, and go to the webpage. It should only ask you for your email address, which just lets us know that you were here and puts you on our mailing list so that we can make sure you know about who's coming up in the next week. And more importantly, where we're going to be meeting. Announcement. We are still here through the end of August, but starting September 6th, we will be at Line Creek Bus Barn. If you don't know where that is, Google it or just ask me. I'm happy to tell you it is a 8-minute drive from here, probably more convenient for some of you coming from a different angle. Not me, but that's okay. They have a large TV with an HDMI cord, so all of our technology would essentially still be the same. And it is our space. No one else is going to be there, so we don't have to worry about making noise. We can clap as loudly as we want. People are done. No more golf claps or snaps, right? But for what it's worth, I do want to make sure that I thank Rome because they have been very gracious to us to give us this space for all this time. This room in particular, as you know, we love it, and we just continue to grow into whatever space we have. There's not an open chair in this room, which is amazing. I love it. Did everybody get coffee this morning? Who wanted? Please thank Russell. He's standing up pouring himself a cup right now. That's on his tab. Of course, the box of donuts is from Hero Donuts right downstairs. They have committed to continuing to sponsor us. I think Garrett, who's not here yet, who brought the donuts? But he picked up the donuts. Garrett is someone on my team. He lives here in the community. He said that he would pick them up and bring them over. So we'll still have donuts. We do have to figure out how to get coffee there, but we will figure it out because 1 Million Cups is all about caffeinating entrepreneurs every Wednesday. So that is a very important piece. 1 Million Cups. Can I get a show of hands as to who is here for their first time? 1, 2, and 3. We have presents for you. We welcome you. 1 Million Cups. For those of you who don't know, I know at least one of those hands that went up just heard about it last night. So for those of you who don't know more about what Million Cups is, it was started by the Kauffman Foundation. I already kind of said their mission is to caffeinate entrepreneurs every Wednesday. We here in Atlanta South chapter are one of 120 chapters across the nation. They all meet on Wednesday morning. And the format is that an entrepreneur is supposed to get 6 minutes to present their business or idea, and it's followed by 20 minutes of Q&A, which is why I'm not really stressing out about the time right now. Down here on the South side, we don't have time limits though, because we only have one presenter per session. So I am going to speed things right through and kick it over to them, Royal Link Golf Tours. They are going to wow you with the business that they've built in this short time. And of course, at the end of their presentation, I will be asking, what can we as a community do for you? So reserve that answer for the end. And then it turns over to you guys to ask questions and help guide them along. So let me do a little switch of technology so that the camera is on them and that the slides are showing to everybody else. There. And present. Boom. All right, guys. There you go. You are on.
Great. Good morning, everybody. My name's Jeff Bartholomew, and I live here in Fayette County, and my daughter is Amanda. And I'm a client of Jason Hunter Design, and they're a client of mine. And aside from the business we're going to talk about today, I also own another business called Everest Business Coaching. And those of you that are here know me probably through that business versus this business. But the business we're here to talk about today is Royal Links Golf Tours. And essentially we are I shouldn't say essentially, we are a golf tour operator, and we specialize in taking people to Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales to play golf. And I'm going to let Hayden talk more about that. But to start off, how many of you are actually golfers? A couple. Great. Top golf town.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You golf?
the idea isn't for you
Golfer?
to learn
Golfer?
about golf per se. It's more about
For
what we do in our business and how we've tried to grow it. And so we're going to share a lot of that information. And I understand, though, that there's
Yes.
someone special in the audience today.
It's a
Apparently,
ballpark.
someone brought their Irish mother. Is that true? What part of Ireland are you from? Oh. From Cork? Okay, excellent. Have you been over there? Oh, you just went? You're going.
Wow,
Seriously?
really?
I don't know the accent. Yeah, my whole mother's side from Glasgow and my whole father's side.
My mom's side's from Glasgow, actually.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's very cool. I'm glad to hear that. Almost from Ireland and definitely from Scotland. Go, if you could, next slide. I want to tell you about how we started this business, and I'm going to tell you very specifically how it started. 1995, I was living in Los Angeles, and Amanda wasn't born yet. And I was reading Sports Illustrated, which is a magazine that I don't even know if they publish anymore, but at the time it was like the most popular sports magazine in the world. And they had an ad for scotch, and it said, treat your father to a few rounds in Scotland. A double entendre about playing golf rounds and treating him to some scotch while he was there. So I hung this up in my office 28 years ago, and I kept it there. And for 2 years, I saved money because I was young. I didn't have money. And I planned the trip. And then in 1997, I took my father for his 60th birthday. And that's my dad, who passed away 2 years ago. There on the left. And I've gone every year since. So I've spent almost as much time in Scotland as you have. And I lived there a couple summers ago. My girlfriend and I went and spent the summer. And but what happened on that trip was really kind of fortuitous. My father said to me, why aren't you taking more pictures? And I said, because I'm coming back. And I'd fallen in love with this style of golf and the country and the culture, not just the golf, but the culture. So the moment I got back, my friends were like, let's go next year. So I started every year, I took groups of people, as many as 12, and I would do the driving and all the planning, and they would just show up. And very early on, they said, why don't you should do this as a business, but I had a good job. And so I didn't do it. But about 15 years ago, I joined a golf club over there called Murray. And that's actually a picture of it. And so for 15 years, I've been a member. I'm the club historian at that club. And I try to go over there every year. So I do go there every year to Scotland every year. And then fast forward, Amanda gets engaged to Hayden, my partner, Hayden Moore. And Hayden was a professional quarterback, and he was playing football. And I said, when you're done, when you retire, what are you going to do? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, you're a good golfer. Let's do this golf business. So 3 years ago, we started the golf business. And it's really taken off. And it hasn't been without the help of a lot of different people. And it's just been fantastic. I'm going to talk more about our growth, but I'm going to let Hayden tell you more about our business itself.
Oh, next slide. Sorry. So at the forefront of what we like to do is put smiles on our clients' faces. This is John and Sharon Barron. They just got back from Scotland. They went for about 8-9 days, just them two, couple. And when they got back, they immediately booked their trip for the next year. So we've already booked their 10 days for Scotland next year, and they had an amazing time. We always make them send us pictures of them smiling because it really gives us motivation for the next client we send. So we send people to Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales, golf trips mostly, but really to experience the local culture as well. A lot of times our clients are more, the most important thing is getting to experience life in Scotland, Ireland. They've never been to another country. So we are specialized in that as well. So we're a small, personal, hands-on business that handles every aspect of our guest trips. So instead of being a travel agent, there's a difference in a golf tour operator. Travel agent just works with the resort or a country, sends you with the package. We actually book everything on the ground. So anything from when you arrive at the airport, we have somebody meet you, Alan McPherson. He's got our shirt on. He tells you about your trip. He's actually played every single course in Scotland. So being able to talk about the golf and the links golf in Scotland is really cool. And we have our own driver. We'll pick them up at the airport, take them to where they're staying. He's really available at all times during the trip. And he also has a Rollings Golf Tour shirt on. He's one of our guys. And then from everything to which golf course to play, the hotels, dinner reservations, transportation, whenever they need to do anything, if they have any questions at all, they text us, we handle it. And there's definitely been things that happen while they're over there. And obviously there's a time difference, so 5 hours. And we'll get messages that somebody actually had COVID. We got to get a doctor to come help them out. And this is early in the morning when, you know, it's 12 o'clock for them. It's early for us. But there's a lot of things that go on that a normal travel agent wouldn't have to worry about. We're experts at creating not only memorable golf experience, but unforgettable experiences both on and off the course. Castle tours, wine tastings, distilleries. When you get there in Scotland, normally on a St. Andrews trip, our first day is a we walk and a cocktail. So on Sundays, the old course is closed. So we set them up with a tour of St. Andrews. You get to see the ruins, you get to see the university, you get to see historical sites. And then you finish at the rooftop at the Russex, which is the hotel that overlooks the 18th green at the old course, which normally, I wouldn't say normally, every single time they're amazed by that. It's really awesome to be on the grounds of the old course, where golf was created, by the way, if y'all don't know, at St. Andrews. So I got to go there for my first time last year, and it is just amazing. And then we specialize in couples trips. So 70% of our trips this past year were couples. Ever since COVID happened and people started to get into the travel mode, it's a lot easier to convince your wife to go on a golf trip when the wife comes. So, and then not being able to travel for a couple of years, you're not just going to be like, hey, I'm going to go on a golf trip for 10 days. You say, hey, why don't you come on a golf trip with me? There's a lot of stuff to do. So the part of us specializing in couples trips is we can tell the wife exactly what to do while the men golf. There's plenty to do. Plenty of lots of shopping. We even, you know, there's a cashmere shop down the road. We tell the husbands, you got to take her there, which I definitely, it made me spend some money there for sure. Yeah, and we just are accommodating of the women's needs as well. So, like I said, 70%, and the trend is keeping that way. It seems like after COVID. So, yeah, that is at the forefront of what we do. Next one. This is just a couple pictures of some happy travelers. Top left, Jay Meyer was one of our first. He went with another couple, him and his wife, and another couple. That's our driver, Robbie, at the top. And we've actually added on some sales representatives, which Jeff will talk about later. And at the bottom right is actually Dale Schmitz. Is one of Jeff's best friends. He's been on 13 trips with him, right? 13 championship courses, what I meant to say. But yeah, This is a testimonial from him. He's been on multiple trips to the British Isles with Rover Links, and although each trip was amazing, they have a way of making your next trip better than the last. And he is actually going with his wife and another couple in a couple weeks. So he's actually going on another trip. And of course, it's going to be better than the last few. So let Jeff talk about what's next.
Okay. I want to hit on something Hayden talked about, and that is the difference between a tour operator and a travel agent. So if you guys book a trip through a travel agent, it's a smart thing to do because they're going to save you money. And the way that they save you money is that they don't charge you, right? So what a travel agent does is they book the trip, and it's let's say you're going on a cruise in the Caribbean. The airline gives them a commission. The hotel that you're at the night before you sail, you get a commission. They get a commission on the package that they sell you, excursions. So and those, when you're working for a big company, they get better discounts. So they don't charge you. We're different. We charge people. And the reason that we charge people is that we're expert at what we do. So a travel agent who's booking you on a cruise to, let's say, the Bahamas, may never have been to the Bahamas or may never have been to Greece or whatever. The places that we recommend, we've been to them all. We've played every golf course. We've stayed in the hotels we recommend. We know obviously we know our driver and our ambassador on the ground. And then we get discounts from those properties, but then we mark it up. And the reason that we mark it up is that we're selling a luxury product, and it's unique, and our whole job is to put smiles on everybody's faces. That's why we're in the business.
And I'm gonna say, like, I don't know if you've ever gone to Scotland, but I am married to a Scottish person and I've been around his family, and when I went there, I didn't understand a word they were saying. Like, that accent is so thick. And I remember he was talking, I was like, I don't know, so this is
Yeah.
great, because I would need.
Yeah. Well, when they start drinking, it's worse.
Yeah.
Right, again. Yeah. There's a guy at my golf club. His name's George Clifton. And he didn't have any teeth. And when he got drunk, you couldn't understand a word. He's got new teeth that you can understand now. But I mean, my friends would stand around like, what's he saying? And like, what you found is the more you drank, the more you understood it.
Yeah.
So you had to drink more.
Yeah.
So here's what's happened with our business. We started it 3 years ago, and it's a weird business from an accounting standpoint, if there are any accountants here, but it's an accrual-based accounting system, which means that last year we booked these trips for this year. We got paid half the money last year, half the money this year. None of that money counts until this year, until they go on the trip. So for this year, we've done $260,000 in revenue. Next year will be double that, and then our goal is to double that the year after that. And the way that we're growing is we're working with Russ, as an example, who's with Jason Hunter Design, and he creates digital ads for us on Facebook and LinkedIn, or excuse me, Facebook and Google, and then we do a lot of organic posts on our own. But that's the primary way that we attract people, and particularly in the month of July, there's a lot of links golf being played in the UK, and Americans watch that, and it gets them excited. So we do that. One note, as you look at this golf course, this is actually a golf course in Ireland. It takes up that entire peninsula. It's called Old Head. It's stunningly beautiful. It's got obviously it's got a lighthouse on the property. The clubhouse is up there, and it's got wonderful food, wonderful views. I eat there even when I'm not playing there. My girlfriend and I will go there. So that's a fantastic place. But we did it through we've grown through digital ads. We also recently added 4 salespeople that are commissioned. They're avid golfers. 2 of them are former clients. One of them's a retired firefighter, a guy that's retired from the Los Angeles Fire Department. And the other guy's a colleague of mine from a former company. So the other thing that we've done to grow, is Hayden mentioned, we've got a person on the ground. He's our ambassador. Go ahead. Oh, he's an ambassador for us on the ground in Scotland. So when people land at Edinburgh, he meets them at the airport. He's got bottles of water, luggage carts, buys them coffee, shows them the restroom, shows them the ATM so that they can get local currency, answers any questions, and then he leads them to our driver or to their rental car. If he leads them to our driver is Robbie Baxter. He lives in St. Andrews. He's a lifelong resident. He's got the accent. They both have the accent. And our clients love that. Robbie's never gotten low. Well, both of them, Robbie and Alan, have never gotten lower than a 5-star review. We survey every client after every trip. We want to get feedback. So we do it in 2 levels: transactional. How did the transaction go? In other words, did you enjoy the hotel? Did it meet your expectations? How was the rental car? How was blah, blah, blah. And then how did we do? Did we listen well? Did we communicate effectively? Did we demonstrate a knowledge of Ireland or Scotland or Wales or England or wherever they're going? So we want to see how our vendors did, and then how did we do? And then we very quickly take action on those items. So I got a report of a hotel that someone rated a 3, and I got a hold of them and said, we're not doing business with you until these things are corrected. And if they're not corrected, then we're not going to use you again. And then we take action on those things that we can about ourselves as well. So those are the things that we've done to grow. Next year, we've got 3 escorted trips. So let me talk about that briefly. Most of our trips are not escorted, meaning we don't go with them. So Josh, if you and some friends went to play golf with your wives and you said, hey, we don't even need a driver, we're going to drive ourselves. Great. We'll arrange the vehicle and you'll drive yourselves. And that's how about half of our trips are. They're going to drive themselves. But if it's an escorted trip, that means that we build a big trip and we want to get 16 to 30 people there. So what we do on those, we go and we host those. So Hayden and I did one last year. Next year, what we've got are 3. In May, we're doing a 5-star trip to Cornwall in Southwest England. I just got back from there. It's spectacular. It's like their version of Maine, like rural seaside villages. These hotels are like off the chain, unbelievable. All oceanfront rooms, 3 wonderful golf courses, 3 Michelin star restaurants to eat at, a cooking school for the non-golfers at a Michelin star restaurant, the gin's very popular there. So we're going to do a gin making school for a couple of hours, a tour of a castle that's an island where you walk through the ocean. They've got a stone path. So when the tide is out, you can walk through the water. And then when you walk back, it's well, for us, it was dry. What else? Oh, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, the castle that was written, where all that allegedly took place or mythically took place. We've got a tour of that. So that's going to be an expensive 5-star trip. The second one in August is a trip to Dublin, and it's built around the Florida State Georgia Tech game. So that one's full. We've got 8 couples lined up to go from Florida State, including the quarterback's parents who are managing all that. Yeah.
You want to go to Ireland?
Well, what's interesting, a friend of mine from Georgia Tech, well before this, said, hey, Georgia Tech's going to be playing over there. You should put together a trip. So I put together this trip. I go, here it is. It's $5,000. He goes, that's way too expensive.
What?
Georgia Tech, yeah.
Sorry.
He said, Georgia Tech fans are cheap. They're not going to go for that. I said, tough. They're not my client.
Yeah.
I'm not the Walmart of golf trips, right? That's not who we are. Yeah.
I'm not a golfer, but I was would love to be a part of it and sit on the side and watch it from here.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you stay focused and say, no, Wiley, you all can't come to my market? How do you stay focused on that and how do you target your demographic, versus going this wide net? How do you get very laser focused on that?
Yeah, one of the things we did, we worked with Russ on this, and what we did was, we started out last year trying to put together a trip for Italy for the Ryder Cup, which is a huge golf event where the U.S. plays Europe, men golfers anyway. And we had no success, right? So Russell was a complete failure. No, I'm kidding. No. So what he did was, he said, hey, we need to stick at this because we cast our net too wide. So every time we ran a campaign, we narrowed it down and narrowed it down. So now when he runs our ads, they're going to men between the ages of 50 and 64, that belong to a country club, that have a passport, and that live in one of the top 10% wealthiest zip codes in the US. And then we even narrowed it down to states, because I don't want the top 10 wealthiest zip code in North Dakota, but California, Arizona, Georgia, Florida, New York.
North Carolina.
Have
Yeah.
you, I have a question. Have you had a content creator, that's like follow you on your trips in order to record what the experience that you guys are giving? So
No,
that way you can put it up on your content, because it feels like one of the things that's nice about having a digital presence is that what you're doing is so specialized and people can imagine it, but people want to see and
Mhm.
live
Yeah.
in that five-star luxury, right? I'm not saying that you're gonna get your clients from Instagram and send DM and be like, hey, can I come on this trip? But at least having that content there.
yeah, that's a
people
great.
to relive also.
Yeah, that's a great idea. On the escorted trips, we could do that. On the individual trips, we rely on them. They send us photographs and we push them to send pics every day of, I mean, like that picture of that John and Sharon Barron, the big smiling faces. We don't have to ask them to send a smiling picture. Everyone's smiling. And this is not an exaggeration. There hasn't been a single person that came back and said, well, that wasn't so good. Man, everyone's coming back like, let's go again, right? But I love the idea of, like on the escorted trip.
So.
Go to Ireland, yes. I'll just drop everything. Hey,
Kind of cool. Photograph is really great, and maybe Josh, you can kind of talk to him and Andrew as well, because you're the PA. But like, having that aerial shot with a drone shot where you're going into the golf course is very appealing. Having that aerial shot of like where you're going through the hotel, right, and you're panning in and you're following someone through the hotel, that whole experience where they're sitting there and and you can go from behind and go out into the ocean. That is what's going to draw in your higher luxury clientele, I feel like. Because when you look at resorts that are 5-star luxury resorts, you see on their banner, on their website, they're doing a video of that.
Yeah.
And that is what you're portraying right here. You are a 5-star, like ultra luxury. Come with us. We're going to take you on this journey and give you an experience. I
Yeah.
think like presenting that would be really neat.
And this next year will probably be our first real round of escorted trips where there's 15 to 20 people, and we'll figure something out for that for sure.
Yeah.
I did want to finish
she work
your
for you?
question. You had a two-part question.
It's no reputation for here.
You were asking, with people who don't play golf, eventually we're not going to have time to take on those double-sided trips. We are mostly focused on the golfers because that's where we specialize, is the golf courses, the certain courses to play. We've had people ask us, hey, I don't play golf. Can you book me a 7-day trip? And it's like, we're booking other golf trips. We can get you with somebody who can book you a great trip where you're just booking hotels and stuff. And we've given advice to people who wanted that, but we're not gonna, plan every single part of the trip, but we can tell you what to do, where to go, stuff like that. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, we say no.
No, we don't say no, in a sense. Well,
Feel bad about having to say no.
You can't serve your ideal clients if you're selling you know, or working with bad clients. And a bad client, that's not the right term, but someone that's not going to play golf, someone else can do a better job for you than I can, or we can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm that guy, I don't know if you remember, but we met maybe a month or two ago, and I asked you that question, and gave you money down.
But what I say, I said we can definitely help you with planning it. Appreciate
I'm sorry.
it. That fit is great. That fit.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
So what was your expense have council have an insurance draft that, like what expense, what?
Yeah. Well, there are, we have an attorney that did our business, did the whole formation of the business. And she reviewed all of the documents that we got from a trade organization. That was, here's a standard format. So when people go, yeah, we have them sign, they sign it must be an 8-page document. And a lot of it, what we're most concerned about is that they understand that there's no refund. And we don't, first of all, we're not in this to get rich, right? We get great joy out of helping people have the time of their lives over there. And we're going to make some money along the way if we do a great job. If we don't do a great job, we don't deserve to make money. But once you pay a golf course over there, because the demand is so high, the money's gone. So we take a 50% deposit, right? So if a trip is $8,000, we take $4,000 today, and then we take $4,000 4 months before you go. And if you cancel, the $4,000's gone. And it's gone from me too, because I've paid these expensive golf courses and they don't give refunds. Some hotels in these properties or in the places like Next St. Andrews don't give refunds either. So that's a big thing for what we do. We take half up front. We also encourage everyone to get trip insurance, right? So we partner with Generali Insurance, and they take care of, they've got basic coverage, standard coverage, which is great for people going on sports trips with sports equipment, whether it's skis or golf club. And then they've got an upgraded premium package that includes cancel for any reason. So, you know, if you're saying, I just don't feel like going next month, or, you know, something came up at my child's school, I'm not going to miss their first dance recital or something, then cancel it.
Taking that in. That the most culprits, they understand. Their demographic climate, they understand. Say, book a tea, I guess, or whatever.
Book a tea time. Yeah.
You got it.
That makes fun. So you bake that in and say, hey, what the price comes. Yeah, I want to go.
We haven't done that, although that's not the first time that we've heard that. And I think that
At the same sense, we have an agreement with Generali to where it doesn't really make sense. We just should let them handle that. And we do get a return on it. So
no one's
no
canceled
one's
yet.
canceled yet. But we've had people miss their flight. They lost their clubs for 2 days. They missed a tee time.
And they didn't have travel insurance.
They would have made double
They got-
their money back if they had travel insurance.
So travel insurance pays for trip interruption, flight delays, damaged baggage, lost baggage,
Rental clubs, they had. to
rental
get-
golf club, so these people miss tee times. And I still had to pay my driver. Like, he was on the clock, so he gets paid. The hotel gets paid even though you don't show up. They had to rent golf clubs. It would have covered the $400 they didn't pay us for
Mhm.
fetching their golf clubs.
Which they didn't want to pay for.
Gosh.
How much time do you spend?
Okay, here's what we do.
The Generali?
I mean, the insurance thing is a big deal, and it's a
Mm.
big ticket. and you lose half of it immediately, like you're. pay it,
If you don't have it, you lose it.
Yeah, so, and you're two guys, you have how many trips a year?
This year we'll have 25.
And they're mostly return clients? Or
Some.
half and half?
That's incredible. 25.
But about
I asked them
15, 14 this year.
If you, in the video,
Explaining how to work insurance.
to everyone, watch this video before you talk, like, and then it takes time, so.
Well, what we do two things. So first of all, Jason Hunter designed an amazing job building the website. There's a vacation customization form. So every ad
Which we're actually gonna
that
do.
Russ builds drives them to this vacation customization thing. And just to be clear, he is particularly proud of the fact that he came up with that rhyming vacation customization. I mean, that's his proudest
Well,
moment so far in business, but
It's sketchy. It's sketchy.
so what happened was, so they fill that out.
He loves pointing that out.
We send an email. We say, let's get together and talk. We do a Zoom call, right? We want to meet these people face to face. She's scrolling through it there. And we get together face to face. Hayden and I meet with them and we go through everything. Then we prepare a itinerary with a budget attached to it. And in this, they can say, hey, we want to spend, we're on a tight budget, or we have some people, the budget isn't an issue. We're going to spend whatever it takes. Then we get into the planning phase. They pay their deposit. We start planning everything. And then about a week, and then every month we send an email with an update for everyone that's going on the trip. We got a group leaving Saturday, 12 people. And every month they've gotten an email from us talking about what to expect from the weather, what to pack, course review, hotel review, things to do, things they should know about, what to expect, right? And then the week before they go, we do another Zoom. Now, so these are the top executives from a pest control company. So I drove up to Atlanta. We give every group that's more than 2 people a trophy that looks like the Ryder Cup trophy. I'm going to tell you about that. And it comes in a silk-lined box, and the box opens up. It's very cool. It blows people away. I charge people $300 for that. They don't know it because it gets baked into their trip. But across 12 people, it's $30. No one's going to say we don't want, for $30. And then, so we took that to them, and then we created these individual bags, and in the bags we put luggage tags, a golf towel, a golf hat, ball markers, a handwritten note. Thank you for entrusting your trip to us. And everyone gets inside of one of our folders the full itinerary and all the logistics, every phone number of every hotel, every address, the booking number, confirmation number, the tee times, everything's spelled out, and everyone on the trip has it. And then we go over all that, and then we answer questions. And so that group that leaves on Saturday is feeling like everything's taken care of. And we look like the duck on a pond, right? Everything looks calm to us. And so since then, I can't tell you how many emails and calls. Like one of our transportation people in the North Scotland said, we got a problem on Saturday, right? This trip is different than we expected. It's going to cost more, right? So now I got to deal with that. Yesterday, the guys one of the guys calls and says, hey, we all decided we're going to wear kilts. We want to play in a full kilt, right? Who do you recommend? So I call some people in Scotland, get a hold of this kilt company. It's $99 to rent. You can't play in it because if it rains, the thing will get ruined. It's like a tuxedo rental, right? So I said, here's what we recommend. Wear it to your final night dinner when you get the big trophy. You can get your picture taken on the Swopen Bridge. We had women a couple of weeks ago. A woman said, hey, I got a weird request. I raise border collies, right? I want to go to a working farm in Scotland and see working sheepdogs. we got it set up.
Cool.
Wow.
It doesn't end there, by the way, when they return home.
They did.
It's just a website, but it's on the phone.
The website. Continue your customer experience, so there's more.
There's more.
Oh, wait.
But wait, there's more?
What more are you
Um,
referring
By
to?
the time they return home.
Oh, yeah, so then when they return home, we send them a $25 book. We have some friends in Scotland that wrote this book. The photography's great. And when they get home, they have a handwritten thank you. And it's inside the book, and everyone individually gets it. So I don't just send it to someone and say, here, distribute this to your friends. It goes to everyone's home. So when they get home, they've got that. For some couples, if they've got like a picture that's like the best picture ever, in that we also put a picture. So that couple that was up earlier, John and Sharon, they had a selfie from the day they arrived, right? The happiest smile, the best smile you've ever seen. So I had that framed. I mean, think about it. I had it framed, and I mean, by the time they got home, they had it. The other thing I recommend, one thing that we do for the people that arrange the trip, we call them the lead golfer. We give them Apple AirTags with our logo on the back. They're $100 for 4 of them. So, has anyone ever used those? Yeah. If you haven't, you have to. Right. So when you travel, I put it. I bought my girlfriend and I. We got 4 of them. One in my golf bag, one in my regular bag, my luggage. FedEx lost my luggage. Actually, I use ShipSticks, which use FedEx. So I sent them a note saying, hey, my clubs aren't here. What's going on? I paid $400 to have these shipped home. And they're like, yeah, we can't find them. FedEx has them. And I go, well, here, and they said, give me a description. So I gave them a description of everything that was in there. And then I said, by the way, there's an Apple AirTag in it, and it says that the clubs are at 4400 International Boulevard in the FedEx place, right? They go, that's going to help a lot. So then so
That's gonna help a lot.
that's how they found my golf bag, was because I had an Apple AirTag.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Yeah, I want everyone to. I just ordered 12 more AirTags to give to clients.
You're like.
Well, she had a question first. The home of golf or the old course?
There's a
He's the
couple,
expert on this.
couple different ways to get on the old course. It's really tough to get free tee times with the old course. They only give out a few tee times per year to certain tour operators, and they sell them in bulk. So they'll sell you 4 tee times for that year, but you have to buy 2 other golf tee times as well at their other courses, and they charge you about $2,000 just for 1 tee time. Well, it would be built in. So we would say, guaranteed tee time to the old course, and then it would just be built in through a whole trip.
It's expensive to guarantee tee time. So
Yeah.
what your boss did was, there are 2 other ways to do it. Hayden's the expert. Here's what he does. This group that's going over, we couldn't get 12 people on the old course. So 2 days in advance, he enters them into a daily ballot. 40% of the tee times are reserved for the daily ballot. So on Sunday, he's going to enter them in the ballot for Tuesday.
Mhm.
If they don't get in on Tuesday, they're going to get entered for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday until we get everyone on.
24 hours before.
But the other way to get on is to do what your boss did, and that was to camp out. Like, camp out's not the right term, but you stand in line the night before, starting at about midnight,
With your golf clubs,
and it's
standing out there.
and it's 6
You're waiting for
a.m.
your tee time.
It's 6
Yeah.
a.m. They open up the line and they say, okay, we've got 10 openings. And yeah, so they'll
You're
go,
in
hey,
line.
your tee time's at 8, your tee time's at 10, your tee time's at 4. So they wait. Right, exactly.
There's so much demand. There's so much demand for it.
But
So
there's a person, I have a friend that's really rich, like really rich. his favorite experience is standing in that line because you meet interesting people.
You
We'll
take
come.
drinks too.
Yeah.
That changes.
No, you do.
I would just say that like we tried to book August last minute. I couldn't get anything. The fact that you figure out. I would put that.
Well, a lot of the times, well, I wouldn't say a lot. We've had a few instances where they say, if we don't get a guaranteed tee time, that's all we're looking for. They're like, well, it's a year out, all the tee times are already taken. You're a little late for that.
Yeah, I had an email today. We've got 8 clients that want to go to Northern Ireland, and they want to play the 2 best courses, Royal Portrush, Royal County Down. So I sent emails to them last night or yesterday saying, hey, we've got 8 guys that want to come over. For anything open the first 2 weeks of August. Here's, I don't know if you saw it. No, we're booked May through September next year. It's, more than a year in advance, they're booked. And what's happening is because of that, they're raising their prices.
Doesn't affect us.
Yeah. Russell.
So, Notre Dame plays maybe.
Yeah.
How expensive, how difficult would it be to acquire the information of all the ticket buyers? Well, say Georgia Tech, start at Georgia Tech. You have to.
But they're cheap. I'm kidding.
Yeah, what I'm saying is how difficult and how expensive to try to acquire the personal information of all the people that bought a ticket to go to Ireland and Austria.
I don't know how expensive it is, but
I wouldn't know what to say.
it's going to be more expensive than me or us, I should say, trying to get like, first of all, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
Right. But let's say it was for next year. I want to find out all the Georgia Tech people that bought tickets for the Florida State game. Right. Like, first of all, that trip's already sold out. But if Georgia Tech said, hey, we want to put together a trip, I don't want to do 60 people. I mean, the golf courses are already full.
Yeah.
So, but to get to the crux of your issue, what we would do is we typically want to get 16 people on these escorted trips, 16 to 20. And even that's a lot to manage. We don't want to do bus loads of people.
Yeah.
We want to do more bespoke trips. But it would be less expensive to go after them through an alumni association or whatever.
We can go on social media and say, hey, can we buy a post from you? Say Georgia Tech alumni, and we give them the itinerary to the trip. And that could be another way too.
Get right here. Tough crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get, like
That's
I was
the-
here 2 weeks ago, you got rained out one day.
That's just the weather.
But here's what happens. I'm being a little bit curt on that, but what happens is they make golf equipment. So I've got a waterproof bucket hat, waterproof gloves, waterproof jacket, waterproof pants, waterproof golf shoes. It could be, I could stand in a shower and not get wet, right? And so we make sure everyone takes that equipment as well, in case it rains, and hope that it doesn't. Now, most people that travel that far, 3,500 miles, and spend $8,000 are going to play in heavy wind and heavy rain, right? So, but if the course cancels, you get your money back. If you decide to cancel because you don't want to play in it, you don't get your money back.
A couple of things. We let them know the best months to do that as well.
Yeah.
So we'll let them know the best months for weather, and they can make their decision. The shoulder months that might have worse weather are going to be the easiest to get on the old course. They're going to be cheaper hotels, easier to get in on course tee times, stuff like that.
On Monday, Hayden and I went through with those clients that are leaving on Saturday. We went through the weather forecast, and it's 50% chance of rain every day they're there. Now, that doesn't mean it's a 50% chance of raining heavy all day, but they will run into some rain.
Now, the wind, I was actually expecting and wanting. It's, part of the experience of playing a golf course in 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds that, they had to do at the Scottish Open, they had to do at the British Open this past month. And it is. I was waiting for that day, and it was fun.
I've gotta wrap it up just for the sake of everybody's time in the room, but you are amazing, the business is amazing, I'm biased, obviously we've worked with them before. I do want to give you the opportunity though, is there anything that we as a community do?
Can you go back one slide?
As he's pulling that up, one other quick note on what's next for us. I didn't get a chance to talk about one trip that's very cool. Next September, we're taking a group to Italy to play golf in Tuscany with winery tours, cooking classes, tours of Florence and Venice, and amazing wineries, and only 3 days of golf. So we're not creating golf widows.
Yeah, so our ask, two very simple things. A lot of our clients are first-time goers, people who love golf, never been to the old course. That's their dream, is to go play the old course. But they don't know where to start. And that's where we come in. We help them build the trip, build the budget that they can, create this trip, an unforgettable trip for. So letting them know that we're here, sending them to our website. We have course descriptions of every course. We have, tips and tricks, what to do, they'll fill out this sheet, and we'll help them every step of the way. And then the other side is introductions to golf pros. If y'all know any golf pros, you meet any golf pros, it's really in their benefit to partner with us. We have a golf pro ambassador program where they can partner up with some of their members. Say that a golf pro is a member at a very nice private course. They can grab 13, 14, 15 guys, go on a trip themselves and get it completely free. So we do that for them, and then they can also send us referrals. So they'll have plenty of members all the time throughout the year say, hey, we're looking to go to Ireland, go to Scotland. Do you know anybody? Send it to us. We'll get them a referral. So we're trying to build as many relationships with golf pros as possible.
Great, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If we keep the conversation going, if you have to leave, I just want to give you the opportunity to not be stuck in the room. And I'm going to end the live, and we will see everybody back here next Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
No.